You want you in the video?
No, I don't want to be in the video.
Okay.
Like ever. Okay, well, they packaged it.
Really good.
I'm so curious to see what they actually sent.
What is it?
They literally... Okay, everybody. I don't know that I've ever had a video that everybody wanted me to get done and get completed. There's no doubt at all that it was pretty clickbaity. This is the package that I got. So before I just jump in and tell you what happened or how it ended, let me tell you how this all started. And I'll show you some of the emails that I got and some of the comments that were made and things like that. My voice is a little bit off, and the reason the video is late is I got stung by a bee and had an anaphylactic reaction, and I'm going to be one of the fortunate people that gets to carry an EpiPen the rest of my life, but it delayed me a few hours and some breath on getting some of this done. So I'm going to roll through it as best I can, and hopefully you'll bear with me. So you back up a little over a week ago, I got an email from a customer, and I will pop these up on one side or the other, whichever fits better or looks better. But what it is, I got an email from a customer on eBay that said, hey, your photos are exactly like this other guy's. What's up with that? And when I searched for it initially, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the ad that he was talking about. And he sent me a link to it. And sure enough, when I go over there, it's a link to my ad. And so at this point, I'm like, I have no clue what's going on. I did tell the guy that they were my pictures. That was my biggest concern, is this other seller is huge. Like, they've done 100 times the business that I've done, and it makes it look like I took their ad, which I didn't. And at first, whether he intended it or not, that's the way it felt like to me. And so, you know, I had to do some thinking about what was I going to do, if anything. And so my first thought is that, I mean, they literally stole my ad. They had the same pictures, the same description. They had the same condition notes, which really blew me away. So what the knife is, it's a knife that was made, 40 years ago. And I bought them at the estate sale of somebody that was an executive at the company. So there aren't any other comps. You can't go anywhere and see any of them. I had 3 of them. They were all the same, and I'm sure he got them as giveaways. And I've sold one a long time ago, back in April, to Spain. So part of the reason that I did this is, one is, I admit I was a little bit torqued. I really do work hard at trying to have a good ad. And in fact, I'll pop up the note that I sent to the people that copied my ad. I thought about not putting up because I'm not sure that it cast me in a good light, but if I'm actually going to be transparent about what I learned, then I got to share with you any of the hickeys that I might have taken in this process. So I'll put the one up because I was upset when I sent it. And but I kept communicating with the guy that had found the ad, and he had a real problem with intellectual property rights. And I think that's why I had the tone that I got from him on the first one, is that whoever did it, it was kind of upset. He did reveal to me later that he sent a similar note to them, but they just never responded. Also, on the hate mail that I sent them, they also did not respond to that. They didn't pay any attention to it at all. So at this point, I'm looking at this and I'm like, there's no way they have this knife from like the 70s that's exactly the same as mine. How can they have exactly the same knife when they just didn't exist? I mean, they made probably a few dozen of them back in the day and gave them to executives, and then they disappeared because they weren't a terribly valuable knife. And so, since they didn't respond to my note, I thought they're lying, and I'm going to prove it. And so this is where I bought it. I bought their knife because not only did they copy my ad, I still had 2 of them. Not only did they copy my ad, but they copied my description. They copied my everything, and they undercut my price. And so all of the activity on my knife, I'm not getting views, I'm not getting watches. So I went all petty and I bought it. And this is where, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I posted on there what I did. And there were some people that right away were like, oh yeah, I am signing up for this. I got my popcorn ready. And there were other people who were like, that's not worth your time. What is wrong with you? They weren't that cruel about it. And here's the thing. Before anybody picks a side, most probably the side of the people that are like, it's not worth your time, is probably the correct side. I'm married to one. She's downstairs, and like, she wanted no part of this. She would have never bought the knife. She would have moved on and gone on with her life. So before we go to crucifying anybody, man, you can have a difference of opinion, and it may not be wrong. So hopefully, if you get anything out of this, is that when I talk to people that, question what I'm doing, there's a good chance they're right. So it doesn't crawl all over me and it doesn't hurt my feelings. And on this one, I kind of felt petty when I did it, but I really wanted to know, were they straight up breaking the law? So as we move forward in time, one is they don't ship it the way they're going to. And I start looking at their eBay page. They have 30,000 listings up, and almost none of them have the same background. They're just from everywhere. And I start doing some research on the company, and I really can't find a lot. They've spread out into a massive network of different websites and things that they run, selling all kinds of different things. And so really no clues there. They were supposed to ship it FedEx, and they didn't. And probably because my original ad had expedited shipping, but I'm not even sure about that. I don't, because I don't use FedEx, so I'm not sure that that's accurate. But anyway, they didn't ship it that way. They used something called, let me pull it up real quick, UPS Mail Innovations. UPS Mail Innovations. And what that appears to be is a company that you can ship to, and it basically goes into a holding place until there's enough to warrant taking it into the post office. So it sat for a full week before it even started to move. They were able to print and said they shipped right away, but they don't ship right away. They don't ship for a week or more, I would imagine. And so eventually, though, it does show up, and I'm like, I've done all my checking. First of all, let's talk about the rules. Let's talk about, is this even legal? eBay is very, very clear. If you go to their policy for the pictures, the first couple of sentences say you should take your own pictures. You should write your own descriptions. It doesn't say that you can't. And so the people that stole my ad, it's the way it felt like, legal for them to do that. Even following eBay's policy, it's okay for them to do that, because I don't have copyright on my any of my pictures or my ads or anything like that. And for the most part, that would not be worth my time, unless it is. I don't know. I don't think it is. But I already know that they can't have a knife like mine, certainly not in the condition of mine, because they were just this side of pristine. The guy didn't carry them. And so it comes in, and I'm working with the post office, because this to me looks like it's going to be straight up mail fraud. And I don't know what they're going to send me, a can of used snuff, or I don't have any idea what they're going to send me. And for those of you that don't know, Penelope has a population of 181. And so I get a text from the lady at the post office. She says, I think that pocket knife is here. So I head down there, and she, she made sure she wasn't on film, and I didn't want to be on film. But I wanted to open it there, not for you, but honestly for the postal inspector. Because at this point, I'm truly convinced that they're doing something wrong, like really wrong. Like how, anyway. So I uncover several mistakes in all of this. Most of them are not mine, but some of them are. So I'm going to go ahead, and at this point, I'm going to run the clip that I took at the post office, and I won't use the abbreviated clickbait one that I put on Instagram. I'll run the whole thing for you, and then I'll be right back.
You want you in the video?
No, I don't want to be in the video.
Okay.
Like ever. Okay, well, they packaged it.
Really good.
I'm so curious to see what they actually sent.
What is it?
They literally sent me a pocket knife I sent to Spain.
Do what?
That's my label. That's my thank you sticker. I mailed one off a couple of months ago to Spain.
For how much?
Like $35.
Why would
It's
they...
not fraud. It's literally my pocket knife. Okay?
That makes no sense.
Thanks. Okay. They sent me my knife. My knife. In my plastic bag with my label, my thank you sticker, and the description matches because it's my knife. The knife that I mailed in April. And like a flood, what's happened is not coming back to me. It wasn't, trust me, it wasn't ever there. What happened is that this company that took my pictures and all, they're buying eBay items. eBay items that didn't make it through the global shipping program. So I go back and I look, and if your store is of any size at all, I get a ton of messages directly from eBay. And unless it's flagged or something that I have to do, honestly, I don't pay enough attention to them. And I go back to April 15th. I'm going to put up the message that I got from eBay. And it said that I had a restricted item on its way to Spain that they could not forward. But not to worry, you get your money, we refund them, and it's done. And I didn't notice it, and Melody didn't notice it. So, is it coming together for you what's happened here? So this company, they buy, and I don't know how they're doing it yet, because that may be the real lesson in this, is we need to get in on some of that. They're buying the things that didn't make it through the global shipping program. They know that they already sold on eBay. So they pop right on there. When they buy those items, they pull them up, and they pull up the ad, copy, paste it, done. All they got to do at that point is put it in their inventory somewhere. And if that's all it was, I don't think it would make me bristle at all. Like, it's kind of brilliant. Like I'm saying, like, the rest of us need to figure out, how do we buy these, I hope I haven't been saying Amazon returns. That was floating around my head, I might have. That we're not buying these eBay restricted items and popping them up there. Where I bristle is because they copied an ad that was still active for me. I still had the other 2 knives listed. And they copied my ad and undercut me, which, by all accounts, because the description will be accurate, it's discouraged in eBay policy, but it is not against the eBay policy. Is it ethical? And I would tell you no, based on me, because I would never do that. I wouldn't do that to one of the viewers, and I just wouldn't do it to, and I wouldn't do it to a big company either. But I was still actively selling it, and they undercut it. So, wow, what a ride. I can tell you that I had a lot of guesses as of what this could be. The best response on Instagram, I will put up here, somebody made some guesses, and actually, as funny as they were trying to be, those were closer than any of my guesses, that they were actually going to send me my knife. Part of that is my fault because I glanced over an April 15th email that said that this knife wasn't going to make it to its end customer. And that's a shame on me, because all I was focused on when I saw that was I get to keep my money, and that's not very good customer service. So there's lessons for me here in my business, because it would have, even if I couldn't get it to the guy, I could have reached out to him with a note and said, hey, man, it's not going to make it, and I'm sorry, just because. So there's lessons for me in that. The other one is, I really am curious, how are these eBay things put up? Does he have a contract with them? Is this guy doing that? I don't know. I don't know, because while I would never copy an active ad, I guess that my feelings change when it's an ad that has ended. I don't have a problem with that. I've never had a problem with drop shippers selling my stuff. I wish they would sell everything in my store for what I'm willing to take for it and get it gone today and let me start over. I would love that. I've never had a problem with that. This one felt different for me. So remember, there's not a right or wrong answer here. I am not convinced that initially this is something I should have chased, but I did chase it. And man, you can't hate on the people that wouldn't have. Because they're not wrong in that I might have sold more if I just kept listing for, and it's not that I spent a great deal of time, but I did spend time. I mean, I wanted to know, can I do a Vero? There's a lot of things I tried to figure out, but don't be hating on the people with a different opinion. I don't. Like, one is, if you're willing to listen to people that disagree with what you are doing or what you're saying, is you might find out that you're wrong. And that has helped me as much as me being convinced I'm right in this life as anything. So I don't hate on them, and it doesn't, none of them were ugly about it. They just thought that my time might be better spent doing something else. And, in the end, I don't think it was, because I learned a lot about my business. One is I completely blew off a customer because they were going to be taken care of and I was taken care of, but that's not good customer service. I've also been exposed to somebody has a completely different business model than all of us, and what they're doing is completely removed all of the taking pictures and the listing process, and I would have no trouble with what they're doing if they weren't copying active ads. I feel like that would be viable for me ethically. But tell me below what you think, and if y'all would, don't hate on the people that feel differently than me, because I don't. Melody doesn't. She's downstairs. She's like, whatever. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Her time is better spent doing that. I do feel like I learned a lot, and hopefully you did too. So, what a ride. I hope my voice was clear enough for you to hear me. I appreciate you being here. This was fun, I think. I think that's the word I'll use. I certainly enjoyed the entire process, I guess. I don't know what that says about me, but man, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you that kept asking me to post this and get it out where you can see it. I will edit this as quickly and efficiently as possible so I get it up tonight. But thanks for being here. I really do appreciate you. If you haven't, like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks.